It is the Stephanie Miller Show. Jody Hamilton is here with us because she is a good friend.
Yep.
Because there's a very good chance I will be unable to speak at some point. So we are remembering Eric Boehlert this morning. And also, if it seems quiet, it's because there's no barking from Jamie. Okay. I just have to say, Aaron Rupar wrote another beautiful piece that kind of what a lot of people have said, Jody, about, most importantly, Boehlert's sudden passing is a reminder that none of us can take tomorrow for granted. But, he quoted from his last piece on Monday that I quoted from and that we talked about, why it just goes to how critical Eric was. But he's the only person that can help me survive Chuck Todd. He wrote, Sunday's Meet the Press Roundtable featured two segments with assembled pundits, Eric writes. One focused on how immigration might be a problem for Democrats in the midterms, the other on how Trump might be a problem for Democrats in the midterms. As usual, Biden's historic economic record was ignored. That's why, according to a recent poll, 37% of Americans think the economy lost jobs over the last year when it's gained 7 million. Just 28% of people know that jobs were up. Virtually all the Beltway coverage today agrees on this central point. When it comes to the economy, Biden's approval rating is taking a hit because Americans are freaked out by inflation. But maybe it's taking a hit because Americans are under the false impression that jobs are disappearing. Mm-hmm. Voters don't know what they don't know because the press isn't interested in telling them about record job success and an economy that is years ahead of where experts thought it would be coming out of a global pandemic. That's why exactly it's so critical right now, before the midterms, with democracy hanging in the balance, not just in Ukraine, here. Mm-hmm. And Eric's voice is lost, and we have got to step into the fray for him, I mean, it's when people say, like, oh, that's what he would have wanted, it's like, that's what he's wanted, because that's what he dedicated his life to, is to telling the truth and to trying to, he really cared. And it's, we're not jingling today. Hi, Karl Frisch, good morning. Our other longest time, we had to figure that out yesterday. So I think we're 16 years this iteration of the show, you and Eric are our first. You've been with us since the beginning.
We didn't start having regulars until about 2009, though. This version of the show started in 2004.
Right.
We didn't start having regulars until about 2009.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know about Karl Frisch. If I had,
but Karl
would have been with me since birth.
Karl and Eric started the same week,
and that was the original Right Wing World.
Right.
It was.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
We had you on for Right Wing World.
Yeah.
I remember the first time we got the call. We were at Media Matters at the same time together, and we'd been reaching out to Progressive Talk Radio to try and get our work out there. Yep. And we started listening to your show, and Right Wing World caught our attention.
And you didn't know that you'd be getting a 15-year booking, did you? Had you known what you were committing to, you and Eric.
Yeah.
No, but I remember at first it didn't start as a regular kind of weekly thing, and I got so jealous when Eric did start as a weekly thing.
That was by design. We always pitted you against each other.
Well, I mean, and that's the thing. I was like in my mid-20s when I started working with Eric, and I always admired I remember telling friends, I'm like, I'm working with a guy who used to write for Rolling Stone. I thought that was the coolest thing in the world.
Yeah.
By the way, play your favorite music today for Eric. Rude Pundit, who maybe will hopefully join us too today, talked about how they talked about their love of music a lot.
Yeah. Eric worked for
Billboard,
Rolling Stone
too.
and Billboard.
Yeah.
Right.
Something else that was also on Press Run.
Yeah.
I didn't always include it for you.
Yeah.
But at the end of
At the
every
end,
one of
yeah,
his
he always
Press Run
talked about
columns,
music.
Yeah.
He always had the good stuff, which is good news, and then the fun stuff was him highlighting some music that he had found that brought him joy.
Yeah.
So if you need
that's the thing,
a playlist,
Karl.
he has a playlist.
If you knew him like most of us all knew him as this professional hero of ours, you just to learn more. I mean, unfortunately, too, sometimes in death, but just about the fullness of him as a man, and a husband and a father, and it's just all of that is his love of stuff, normal stuff outside of politics.
Yeah, and I remember filling in for him sometimes at conferences as like a speaker or a panelist.
Yeah.
And
that's like when I had to follow Maxine Waters here. Yeah. I feel you, honey.
Reclaiming my time.
Yeah.
They would always give me his name tag, and I remember people walking up to me and being like, "Eric Boehlert," and I'm like, "No, I'm sorry." So eventually, I would just start crossing off his name and putting, "I'm sorry."
I'm sorry. It's not him.
It's not him.
Trust me, I did. It was a church in South Central, and I think the church was actually levitating after Maxine Waters spoke, and then they're like, and now here's Radio Geek Stephanie Miller.
Yeah, exactly.
Hi.
So, my writing improved significantly because of Eric Boehlert, his example, then also his pointers. So
yeah, I mean, all of Charlie Pearson, Rude Pundit, and Bob Seska, everybody that obviously all of the writers and amazing thinkers we have on the show are just Eric. It really is like the guy in the trench next to you just went down.
And his writing was so clear, concise, and sharp.
Yeah.
You knew exactly what he was saying.
Yeah,
It was beautiful.
One of the best accounts to follow on Twitter for almost the entirety of Twitter's existence.
Yeah, and the way he could just like nobody else would gather facts and statistics and just to prove like a laser the hypocrisy and the double standard and the both sides do itism. Yeah. By the way, wait, I found it. We have our very first annual Eric Boehlert Award. Goes just reminded me, but
the first story I
saw.
Nomiki
Konst, yeah. But I just thought Eric probably was proud if he saw this.
Can we make his name a verb?
Left-leaning Fox News contributor Nomiki Konst deflated host Harris Faulkner's attack on President Biden Wednesday by reminding her that Trump's poll numbers were generally worse than the current president's. During a segment about Obama's visit to the White House, Faulkner suggested the Democratic icon had returned because of Biden's falling poll numbers. Konst said President Biden got 81 million votes. He's received more votes than any presidential candidate in history of our country. I think he's pretty popular. That's it. Faulkner said, "Have you seen the polls?" Nomiki said that number, his poll right now, is the highest Donald Trump ever reached in the polls. So you might want to check those numbers too.
Yeah.
Good for you. We bestowed the very first annual Eric Boehlert
And
Award.
when you make a right wing media outlet eat it, it should just, I agree. I think it was Travis who just said it. I think we should call it Boehlerting.
Boehlerting.
Yes, it's
Go
a verb now.
Go Boehlert someone today.
Yes.
But it's true. It's amazingly, Carl, just that stuck with me, that last number he quoted in his last piece on Monday about just the cold, hard facts that more people think we've lost jobs than gained them when we've gained 7.5 million, goes to show you exactly how the media is failing. And without Eric here to, point that out with his razor precision, I don't know what else to do. But all of us have to fill that void somehow. We have to take up his torch.
Yeah.
I don't think he ever wanted to do it alone, and I think that's one of the reasons that he came on the show every week, and it's one of the reasons that he started his little mini podcast and started doing his writing in audio form.
Yeah.
He certainly did not want to spend time with me and my ridiculous fart jokes. He lowbrowed so that I may highbrow.
He wanted everybody to hear it and to everybody to take notice. And what was great about his media criticism was that he didn't just correct a story.
Right.
He pointed out where they were failing holistically, right? Where were they failing? What were they not doing over a period of time? He had a lockbox of a memory that went back decades of media
facts,
coverage.
figures, just like a photographic memory. I keep, I keep
seeing
having
all of these outlets now praising his work is very, I want them to praise his work in other ways too, by reflecting it in their coverage.
Yeah, like Eric is watching, right? Eric is watching, and it's. I can't. I have Ericisms in my head all the last couple of days. Like, one of the his quirks that I loved. He was always like, "Real quick."
Yeah.
And I thought, man, if I'd known how quick it was going to be.
Yeah.
It's like you don't ever need to be real quick, because all his points were great, and he'd be like, "Real quick," because he just wanted to get one more thing in, and it, was always.
He knew how,
and it just, I thought, wow, his life was real quick. It was too quick, and it just all the jokes about him hanging up and leaving too soon, and I'm like, left too soon,
Yeah. Bye-bye.
And also that he was the only adult human I knew besides Charlie Brown that used the phrase "good grief."
Yeah.
And he used it with an exclamation point without yelling it.
Yes. Yes, he did.
Good grief. Yeah.
He was also a really good radio guest. He was really professional and just.
And I was always so proud when I saw him on TV. Somehow, like he belonged to us, like an idiot. But I know when he was on TV, because he's just so handsome and so smart and so just every show he was on, he just made it better, you know?
The great thing about his television versus his radio is there was significantly more joy on the radio for him.
People can let their hair down on the radio.
He also knew that he could get into it, right? Television's a different beast, and he treated it like one.
Yeah. Well, when people give me credit, like, oh, I love people on your show, or, you've introduced so many people, it's like, I'm the lucky one. I'm just lucky that, all of you guys, I've always said that I think I have the smartest, funniest guests in the country. Like, I'm so lucky that I've had, Eric Boehlert would come on this show, every week for so many years. It's just, what a joy, what a pleasure to expose him to the world. It's not me. It's that, that he took the time for all of us to share, this blinding insight. And I think it's just the fact that we just talked to him Monday. He always talked about that. Just the fact that you don't ever know. It's like it's the last time I was going to say goodbye to Eric Boehlert, on Monday.
Right.
And it happened that night. It happened Monday, and it's, Lord.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
And of course I got, about 10 minutes before I texted you, of course I was getting dozens of texts from colleagues from Media Matters over the years. Asking if I'd heard and commiserating.
No, it's like any death in any family, right? I saw it. I saw it at O'Brien. I called these guys immediately. I called Jody. I got text from you and Bob Seska, and Dana Goldberg, and it really is. It's like, boy, does bad news travel fast, right?
Yeah.
Because I think all of us were so in shock and disbelief. We were like, is this really real? This can't be. It's that denial that comes first, right? Where you're like, no, this can't be right. Yeah. Karl, what? It also hit me that we're all family, that this could be all of us one day. So, just saying, and all the rest of us will be talking about. And seriously, put bubble wrap around each and every one of you. It will break me. I cannot take any more right now. Bubble wrap around all of you. Lord. All right. Karl, thanks, honey.